I've never found a love like this. There it is. I've never found a love like this.
Hello everyone, welcome back to E20 Zone TV. West Ham 2, Bournemouth 0 in a frustrating, but it's a win. That's all I'm going to say on that. Tom, how you doing, mate? And what did you think of that tonight before we get started on player ratings?
Yeah, I'm all right. Probably could have done with watching that without watching that for 90 minutes. Wasn't the greatest watch at times, but again, a win's a win, and we jumped from 17th to 10th. So yeah, it's a big week for us. So we kick-started it right with 3 points.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. For me, first half, what did you make of the first half? We'll go first half, second half, and then we'll do the player ratings. For me, first half was shocking for me.
Oh, it was awful. Awful.
What is going on with us? We've got no ideas.
I don't know. I think obviously we got lucky at the end of the first half with what happened. It's just too slow. I don't know what it is. If it wasn't the five at the back stuff, obviously last week and not creating chances, this week again, I still think we're one attacker light. I would love to have seen, maybe Souček parked and have, Downs and Rice start. I think they'd have been more than capable enough to, deal with the Bournemouth midfield that didn't really offer a lot at times. But, thankfully, I guess in the sort of second half, it started to click for about 15, 20 minutes. We were on the front foot and then they made some changes. But it's in those 15, 20 minutes that we were on top. It's just like we just don't have to put the ball in the back of the net at the moment, which is obviously, in relation to same Liverpool and, if you want to go on then the XG route and say, well, we've had all these chances, but it's true, we have some chances, but we're just not sticking the ball in the back of the net, which could come back to bite us very soon if the team we weren't playing against wasn't Bournemouth. So frustrating first half, and in certain aspects, frustrating second half. But
for me, Tom, first half, Ben Johnson, mate, I can't be dealing with the geezer. Second half, he got a little bit better. I'll give him his due. I hold my hand up and say he got a bit better. First half, sideways and back crap, just literally all over the gaff. Like literally, I don't know. I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, bruv, I'm looking at Cresswell, and I'll criticise Cresswell. Cresswell's bombing up on that left with Benrahma.
Yeah.
Ben's not. And for me, it was just lacklustre. Souček in the first half nearly let them in with a major fuck up. Let's be real. He lets them in and they're running through. If they're a better side, that's in the back of the net. Right, let's talk to you about the goal. We discussed it in a WhatsApp group. You say that by the laws of the game, it's allowed. If that is us in that situation, Tom, we're going mental. Anyway, let's be real.
I was going to say, not that I agree with it. Also, Steve, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, David.
Not that I agree with any of it, but it's supposed to have changed this year. So I think the interpretation of it is because the ball didn't go directly from Kehrer to Antonio. I know it's the same phase of play, but the fact that it didn't go from Kehrer straight to Zouma, but it went back to Souček on there, I don't know. And whether or not he's accidentally done it and his eyes were closed, and I think West Ham Central put a video up. It does look like a volleyball, like one of those sort of volleyball things where you lay the ball up. But thing is, in the second half, I'm sure we're going to talk about it in a second. I don't know what the difference is between handball and not handball, because I think looking at the one that they got done for, we had one with Ben Johnson about a minute before that you could say was arguably similar, but just different position of hands and stuff. So I don't know, but you know what? It's quite funny that it's against Bournemouth, because it's just a little bit of magic, isn't it? As Callum Wilson used to say. So yes, maybe we finally got them back for that one.
I must admit, I agree. For me, I think we got away with it a little bit there. I think another referee, another day, we might not have got away with it. But we're going at half-time 1-0. Excuse me. Second half, we come out. Excellent. I thought he was trying. Benrahma looked like the player that I've always said. He's forward thinking. He has shots. Listen, the shots might not go on target. Don't get me wrong, but he has a go, Benrahma, and he does try and make something happen. How do you quickly assess the second half for you?
Yeah, again, those 15, 20 minutes, really good. Looking to take it to Bournemouth, possession. The way that we were moving the ball from side to side was a lot quicker.
Yeah.
which was forcing them to sort of move, from one side of the pitch to the other. But if you do that faster, which we were doing in the second half, you're going to create more spaces, you're going to create overlaps, you're going to be able to create more chances. But again, just not able to stick the ball in the back of the net. And I think that obviously is one of our major problems at the moment. But I think David Moyes needs to learn going forward that if he has Benrahma, I think Paqueta, Bowen, Scamacca as his front four, I think that will lead to more goals being scored, because I just think that we've got one too many defensive players on at the moment. I think that's our issue.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I actually do agree with you. For me, second half, we was very good at the start, okay in the middle, and towards the back end of that second half, we were poor. Jackal and Hyde for me, very much Jackal and Hyde side we are at present. I just want to say this, Vin Isaac become a member. Thank you very much. I see it earlier on, mate. Moyes started Benny. That was a positive, but Moyes is a defensive manager. I'm happy with the points. I agree, mate. And Jay Wood says Benrahma's skill tonight was so slick. Trust me, bruv. I've been saying about Benrahma a long, long time, and I'm so glad he performed tonight. Quickly round up from me. I think the score line 2-0 doesn't justify the way we played, really. I think, for me personally, if that game would have ended 1-0, everyone would have been cause for concern big time. I think people still are. I think the scoreline looks better than what the actual result was, because, let's be honest, the last 10, 15 minutes of that game, we was camped an hour and a half. And Bournemouth were coming forward all the time, and we couldn't get, Antonio couldn't hold the ball up, but we will get into that now. Tom, player ratings. Let's do this. Let's start off with this man, Lucas Fabianski. Give me your assessment of him tonight.
Didn't have loads to do. What he did do, he did it well, I guess. I'm not sure. Daddy, thank you very much.
Daddy, man. Big ups to Daddy.
He was kept quiet. He did come out for the ball a couple of times when he was supposed to. He got obviously fouled by Billing. But I don't think he himself put us under any pressure this evening with any sort of mistakes or anything like that. So I'll give him a 6 tonight.
I'll go a little bit higher. I'll give him a 7. I thought he didn't really have to do a lot. What he did do, he done well, I think. I'll give him a solid 7 for me. Let's get, as I take that comment off there, get onto this and go to this man, Ben Johnson. I'll start with this one. First half, shocking for me. 2, he runs forward, he checks his run, he turns back, and he's sideways and back passing. Second half, a hell of a lot better. Not majorly better, but a hell of a lot better than he was in the first half. I'm going to give him a 6, and that's being kind. The way he was in the first half, I'd give him a 4. I thought he was terrible. But I'll give him a solid 6 from me. What are you saying for Ben Johnson?
I'll give him a 5 tonight. I don't know. I just didn't think he was good enough. For what was a area of the pitch that we thought we were sorted in for the next sort of 10 years. It felt like with him, you got Soufal, Ashby coming through. I don't know. I was looking at Ryan Fredericks in the first half, thinking, why did we get rid of him? I thought how bad Ben Johnson was.
He was blowing though. He was blowing after about 20 minutes.
He was. But I don't know. Ben just seems to be in a bit of a weird place right now. I don't know what's wrong with him. Or whether it's lack of confidence, where it's being played out of position the last sort of few games. I don't know, but he came, I guess, back into it a little bit in the second half, but at times he just looks very sloppy on the ball. And I can't put my finger on it, because he looked a real good prospect a couple of years ago. So I'll give him a 5.
Yeah, listen, maybe I'm being a bit too kind for him, but I've gone for a 6. We move on to this man, Kirk Zouma. Gets us on our way. We scored a goal, lucky goal, but we'll take it at the minute, the way we're playing. I thought tonight he was solid. I wouldn't say he was vintage Zouma. Like, he done a couple of little things that were out of position, but then he did do a couple of things that were really, really good. I'm going to give him a high 7. He gets us the goal. He gets us on our way. He keeps a clean sheet. I'm going to give him a high 7 from me. What are you saying, Tom?
I'll give him an 8. Clean sheet, got the goal. Thought he made a real couple of good challenges as well. In the second half, there was that one he made that he come up smiling from. I think they knew in the second half when Kiefer Moore came on that they wanted to keep Kiefer Moore tried to sort of stick him to Kehrer because he was that much smaller, and he sort of dominated Kehrer for the last sort of 15 minutes. So I actually thought he had a very good game. That was a bit more like sort of Kurt Zouma of old. And interestingly as well, I thought he was playing as the right centre back tonight, and Kehrer was playing as the left centre back, which in previous weeks it's been when they've played together. Zouma on the left and Kehrer on the right, so back in his more natural position. So I'll give him an 8 tonight for the goal and the clean sheet.
I agree. Anyone, 45 people in the chat, please do get involved with your ratings, and let me know what you think in the chat. Moving on though to where is he? This man. I'll start off as I wait for Tom. Kehrer.
I was just taking my jumper off.
He frustrates me a little bit, Kehrer. I'm starting to see little flaws in him. Yeah, I think he's a good defender. I think he passes the ball out of the back well. He makes silly fouls, especially in the second half. Silly fouls just to invite pressure onto us, which was like frustrating. I think there's a talented player there, but I'm going to say this openly. He's not a centre half. He's a right back, and I think when we get him to right back, we'll see a better balanced West Ham. What am I going to rate him? I'll give him a high 6. I don't think he was the same as Ben Johnson. I think he's a little bit better than Ben Johnson, but Kehrer does do silly fouls for me, and it is a worry. I will say that. Tom?
I give him less than that tonight. I think I'll give him a 5. He made the mistake in the first half. When Solanke got injured, he passed the ball back. I think he was dominated at times by Kehrer, by Kiefer Moore. I think I'm more excited to have Aguerd back. I think with just the form that Johnson and Soufal are in at the moment, I think when we've seen Kehrer as a centre back, as a right back, I think he's tailor made for that position. His height, his size, everything else. I think he'll be brilliant for us there.
I agree.
But tonight, especially when you're going against big, powerful strikers like Kiefer Moore, he was found out a little bit in that second half. So I'll give him a 5 tonight. I didn't think it was his best game this season in a West Ham shirt, but a clean sheet, I guess, kind of saves him a little bit. But I think against better opposition, I think he would have been found out quite badly tonight. I don't think it was his best performance. Yeah,
I'm with you, mate. I think it's just because I do like Kehrer. I'm a bit biased there, but I do apologise. Moving on. This man, Aaron Cresswell. Tom, take it away.
Yeah, I must give West Ham Online some props. I think he has been right about Cresswell this season. I think he's having a bit of a resurgent season. Really impressive his attacking output down the left. Like you said, he's always looking to sort of bomb on and stuff. And yes, he may be a little bit older, but he's not lost that attacking intensity and stuff. And maybe not as many assists as we'd like, and his set pieces haven't been up to maybe his standard or the standard we expect of him. But I think it's I think he was probably the best fullback tonight on both sides. I give him a 7 from me. I think he was very good.
I'm gonna go one better, mate. I'm giving him a high 7.
Really?
I thought, I thought he was excellent tonight, mate. I will say that I'm not his biggest fan. And people know this, who know me, and you know me, Tom. I've never really had a really good word to say about Cresswell, but I thought tonight he was excellent. I thought maybe his crossings was a little bit poor from time to time, but he's putting good balls in there, like here and there. But defensively, I thought he was okay. I thought he helped Benrahma a lot. I think they linked up very, very well on that left-hand side. Benrahma always feeding him inside, basically, for them crosses to cut across. I thought he was good tonight, Cresswell, so I will give him some praise tonight. High 7 for me, just not an 8, but we will move on to this man, captain, leader. I can't stress how much we need Declan Rice at this club for us to progress. Another top performance from him, would you say, Tom?
Yeah, just random midfield. Once again, it gets a bit boring, doesn't it? Every single time you do a show and say, oh my God, this guy's incredible. But I think he only misplaced one pass. I think other than that, it was like 98% pass accuracy. He created some chances, nearly scored a goal to proper it as well. Just another brilliant performance from Captain Fantastic at the moment. So I give him a solid 8 tonight. I thought he was just excellent.
I'm with you. Solid 8 from me also. The man's top class. I see something on TalkSport earlier on about Danny Murphy saying about him going to Liverpool. Just don't tell Lucas that, whatever you do, people. For me, he's worth every pound, pence, and cent of 150 million. He's a top class player, and he goes and gets in any side in world football, in my opinion. Top draw, 8 out of 10.
I think that's the thing as well, is that slowly but surely the commentators are starting to sort of get used to that. A lot of the ones that have seen us regularly on Sky, and I know Alan Smith is very annoying sometimes and be very biased to Arsenal, but even he was saying multiple times like how much of this man runs the midfield, not just for West Ham now, but for England, how crucial he is and stuff. I'm shocked it's taken people the last 4 years to get on board with what we've been saying since it felt like day one that he slotted into that position. But hey, he's reaping the rewards for it now, and he's just putting in consistent performance one after the other.
Yeah, I'm with you, mate. 100% top class, Declan. Moving on to this man, Thomas Souček. This is going to be interesting. First half, he makes a pass to Solanke, who played for Bournemouth. Everyone, I've got to give him his due. He gets the header from the goal that helps obviously Zouma score. I'm going to let Tom go first on this one. Tom, how do you look at him tonight?
First. Taylor two halves. I
think that's the way I look at it.
The first half, sloppy in possession, lost the ball a couple of times. Positioning wasn't fantastic, but then the second half, I thought defensively he was brilliant. He made a couple of crucial slide tackles. He looked at times to actually get forward. He made a couple of good runs. Even in the first half, he could have maybe scored. He mistimed his jump, which is something that we don't often say with Souček because he's so good in those positions. I don't get why he can't play like he can, in the second half for 90 minutes, or at least
it's like a jackal and isn't it? You just don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm a little bit sort of confused as to how he's getting on at the moment. I think obviously midweek, West Ham Online was sort of saying, he had a really good game. We were all going, did he have a really good game? I don't know. I think he's splitting a lot of opinions at the moment. But like I said, based on the second half, when Bournemouth were getting back into the game, I thought he was brilliant. I thought genuinely made some unbelievable tackles, like the hard ones to do as well, where you have to stick your wrong leg out in front and almost come from behind to get the ball. Where that was in the first half, I don't know, but I'll give him. I'll be kind to him tonight. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I thought based on that second half, I thought he made some crucial tackles.
I'm going to go high 6. It's not 7 for me. I thought first half we needed to concede a goal because of him. Second half, I agree totally. Defensively, he looked a lot better, but I'm concerned about Souček. Listen, Mitchell drives me mental. Everyone on this channel, anyone who follows this channel, he really, really does drive me mental, Mitchell. But I love him because he's pointed this out with Souček for a long, long time. And for me, I'm starting to see it. So I'll give him a high 6 tonight. Needs to improve, in my opinion. Moving on to this man. Man's from Brentwood, but he plays in the claret and blue. Flynn Downs, for me, I'll go first on this one. I like this kid. I really, really do. I think he's excellent. I think he's got an engine on him. I wouldn't say he was vintage Flynn Downs tonight, but I would say he was pretty decent tonight. He comes off on the 87th minute, works his socks off, sliding tackles, committed to the calls. I'm going to give him a high 7 for what he done tonight. I thought he was excellent. I like Flynn. I really do. And he's one of our own. Tom.
Yeah, you can see that from him start to finish. Always gives 110%. Could have scored again in the first half. I thought he was better against Liverpool. I can't lie. I thought to come in and make your debut against Liverpool, I think then to put that kind of performance in, I was really shocked at how well he played at Liverpool. I thought he was good tonight. Different type of game, so maybe wasn't as involved as much. Didn't have to do as much defensive work as maybe he would have done. Which is why I would have advocated for having an extra attacker on instead of maybe him or Souček. But I thought what he did do, he did really well. Really, really pleased with, how he's panning out. I really didn't know what to think of him before we signed him. I thought it was just sort of one of them feel-good stories of, getting in a kid that was a West Ham fan after Noble left. But actually, there looks a real good player in there. So, yeah, I think I'm glad we're starting to see more of him now because he's kind of showing us as well and David Moyes that he has a lot to offer. So, yeah, I'll give him a 6 tonight. I don't think it was. I don't think he was as good as he was at Liverpool, but I think he did what he did tonight well enough. I don't think he made any glaring mistakes. So I'll give him a high 6.
I'll give him a high 7. As I say, I do like this kid. I think he's just. When we signed him, someone came in my chat and said about him, and I'm starting to believe him. I will say that. Moving on though to this man, Saeed Benrahma, bleaches his hair, he turns into a completely different player. Listen, I'll go first on this one. I love Saeed. I've backed Saeed up for a long time, and he deserved to start tonight. He's been literally itching to get into this team for a long, long time. Now, he come on tonight, first half, he was trying, but it was frustrating. I will say that West Ham kept going through the middle of Bournemouth and not going down the sides. There was no width. Second half, a lot better. Scored a good penalty. That's how you take a proper penalty, put it in the back of the net. And, he has shots. He frustrates the fan base. Don't get me wrong. I get it. But he's a trier, and he will try and do stuff and try and make things happen. And I thought tonight he was solid tonight. I'm going to give him a solid 8 out of 10 for me. What are you saying, Tom?
Oh, my word. I can't believe I'm about to do this. I'm going one higher than you. I'll give him a 9.
Blimey.
I thought first half, I was worried for him. I thought, oh no, here we go again. He's going to start, and now he's going to have a really bad performance. But actually, second half, he proved, I think, for me, why he needs to start. I think it's never, for me, been a question about Fornals or Benrahma. It's been play the best 11 for the game sometimes. I've said in previous weeks, and I stand by it, I think some games you potentially need the one who runs around a lot in Fornals. In other games, I think you do need to have that creative player. I could understand for Liverpool why Fornals was to start. And I think Benrahma should quite easily have started tonight. I think in previous weeks, Southampton, he should have started a few of the other games as well. That second half is exactly why you just need someone. It's been Paqueta in recent weeks, and I think it's been him as well. You just need somebody to grab the ball by the scruff of the ball, if you want. Grab the game by the scruff of the balls, and just run at the opponent. Little step over, drop the shoulder,
carry the ball.
Exactly, carry the ball. Yeah. Just attack. Look to attack a fullback, whipping across. I think he is very similar to Paqueta. Those types of players, they're luxury players. They're, one step ahead of, the game, if you want, in as much as, they're looking to find that extra pass or create something. I don't think Fornals offers that as well as Benrahma does. And yes, he did take a couple of shots in the second half. Some did go, but at least I think you could say he was trying to make something happen. He was trying to get his teammates involved. The only one thing I would say is he didn't maybe get Bowen involved when he could have found him a couple of times and left him isolated. But other than that, thoroughly deserved his goal, man of the match for me. Do you know what he said to the camera when he ran over and he went like that? Do you know what he said?
What did he say?
I was going to say you wouldn't know, would you? Because I bet Holly filmed you go, yeah.
No, listen. When Eagle steps up for that penalty before we move on, I was convinced he was going to score.
Yeah,
as well. He just don't miss pens. Like, that's one thing I will say. I think, if I remember rightly, at Brentford, he had 7 out of 7. And every time he took a penny for West Ham, he's always scored. So, listen, I'm pleased for Benrahma. I really am, because he gets a lot of stick, like a lot of players. I think he's got a lot of unnecessary stick. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to get too giddy, because he's Bournemouth. I will say that. But you've got to give him credit tonight, and credit where it's due. So, I think
the thing is as well, is that when you play like-minded attacking players like Benrahma, Paqueta together, those kind of guys are on the same wavelength, and it'll only help us going forward. So I think going forward, the front four needs to be Scamacca, Paqueta, Benrahma, and Bowen. And to the camera, he screamed, was it "Mama"? Je t'aime, Mama, which I love you, mummy, in French. So he won a lot of hearts as well with that.
Fair enough, Benny. Well done, son. We'll move on though to this man, Jared Bowen. Quiet tonight for me. Very, very quiet. First half, I found he was too deep in the first half. West Ham when Bournemouth had the ball, West Ham were playing a 4-4-2. Didn't like that at all. He done a good pass in the first half. Remember that. Second half, not his night tonight. Bowen for me. I will say that. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. I thought he was okay. Right, he was just okay for me. Like, he wasn't vintage Bowen. Worked hard as he always does, but he was too far deep tonight in midfield for me. He needs to be further forward and closer to Skamaka or the attacking players for me. So, yeah, 6 out of 10. What are you saying, Tom?
I'll give him a 5. I don't think he did anything wrong. I just don't think he got into the game at any point. I don't think all of that is his own fault. I think there's a few times that he was open that Skamaka didn't try to play him in, or Benrahma tried to play him in. Josiah, thank you so much.
Josiah, thank you very much, son.
So I don't think he was helped by his teammates. And I think as well, Johnson didn't help him out as well, sometimes being down that right. But again, I don't want to be too critical of him, because sometimes I think when you've sort of broken into the England team, I look at him and the last couple of weeks, especially the games that he was scoring in over the last month, he's almost looked like he wants to make something happen. I didn't see that tonight. He didn't. Again, there's another one that I expect sometimes to just drive at the fullback, cut inside and have a shot. Didn't really have a chance for that tonight. So yeah, he worked hard. I'll give him a 5. But like I said, I don't think all of that is his own doing. I don't think his teammates helped him out trying to find him tonight.
So I'll say this: if you want to do, if anyone else wants to become a member, please do, and you'll be entered into a draw ×2 for the 2 shirts at Christmas. So I just want to let you know that. Anyway, we'll move on to this man, and it is Gianluca Scamacca. Not his night tonight, Tom. For me,
no.
Not his night. Amount of times he miscontrolled the ball, and he's slow tonight to release the ball. I'll let you go first on this one. What are you saying for Gianluca tonight?
Again, I don't want to be too harsh. I think there's times when I know in the second half he won the ball back really well, and he sort of held the ball up, did a nice little skill to get past somebody, but then lost the ball instantly when Benrahma was wide open down the left. He could have just made the easy pass to. It's just almost like he tries to do too much sometimes. Yeah. When the easier thing to do would just be to hold the ball up and just pass it on. Because when he does that, he does it really well because he's got fantastic strength. I'd say he's looked a lot better when Paqueta plays, because I think Paqueta does try to sort of find him a little bit more. Yeah. In this system, when Paqueta's not playing, it's almost like he has to be the one to sort of find himself in the space or create. So he feels like he maybe has to create.
It's like he's got to make the chance himself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think he was like woeful, but I also think tonight going in, I thought, oh, this could be a time that he could get a nice couple of goals tonight against Bournemouth, and he didn't do it. So, yeah, he's another one. I'll give him a 5. I won't be too harsh on him because I don't think Antonio was all that when he came on either. But, yeah, I'd give him a 5. I think that's fair.
I'll go a little bit higher than that. Not much, just a little bit. I'll go a high 5. I agree with everything you said. I think he did do some things pretty well. I will say that, but when he gets the ball, he doesn't release it fast enough for me. I think he's got to learn that the Premier League, they swarm on you like bees, right round honey sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? I did think when West Ham were playing through the middle, it didn't suit him. They sort of changed it up in the second half, and he looked a little bit better. But yeah, I'll give him a high 5 tonight, just not a 6 for me.
The only one thing I will say is, just quickly before we move on, is I do think, though, whether it's a him problem or if it's a team problem, got to be on the same page in terms of when we're delivering crosses. For such a big man that's very mobile, he really needs to start getting on the end of some of the headers and stuff. He did it in that first European game when we needed to qualify to get into the group. He had a lovely cross from Cornet that stuck up the back stick and he headed it in. We haven't seen that a lot recently, and I don't know why. But I think it's either he needs to make better runs when he's in the box, or our crosses need to be a little bit better. I think to try and get him some better service, I will say that.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I really do. Moving on, though, to, where is he? This man. Subs time. Mikel Antonio comes on. Oh, dear. I don't know what to say, really. I don't know how I can even rate this man tonight. Could not hold the ball up for love or money. Really couldn't. Was it the right sub? I would say yeah, because Scamacca wasn't all that tonight, and I think just go light for light. But as soon as Mikel Antonio comes on, Bournemouth are all over us. Literally, snap of the fingers, they're all over us. He can't hold the ball up, and they are literally coming forward every minute, basically. I'm going to ask you, Tom, what do you think tonight? And then we'll do our ratings together, because I don't know what to rate him tonight. I really don't. I don't want to be ultra harsh, but then I don't want to be so kind to him, because he didn't do a lot.
Well, I'd tell you one positive thing. At least he looked ready to come on tonight when he
did look ready to come on tonight. I agree.
Because the last few weeks, he was just, he just showed no interest in wanting to come on, it felt
there was no enthusiasm in the last few weeks.
No. Well, there was tonight, and then he came on, and then... you expect him when he comes on. Their centre-backs have had, a hardish time dealing with Scamacca for 70 minutes. Just put your back into him, make it difficult for him. Use the strength to power everything, but he was out-muscled. He didn't really have a chance to hold the ball up at all. He did in one occasion. He held the ball up and then tried to play a crossfield pass with his left foot that went straight to a Bournemouth player.
I remember that.
Just, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Antonio at the moment. I don't think he likes being out the side, and I get it. You're a record scorer in the Premier League. I do think you maybe should have started tonight, because I think Moyes could have gone with one less defender. But yeah, just a bit of a nothing performance, especially because he came on for 20 minutes and he really didn't do a lot. He got bullied a lot of the time by Senesi, and I know he was complaining that he was being pushed in the back, etc. But in reality, he'd just been bullied quite a bit after he came on. So
we'll do the ratings together. I'm going to go a high 4. I am. I just look at what did he do? Really? And I'm not going. I don't want to go in on Antonio, because I respect the geezer. He's done a lot for West Ham. But you've got to look at how it is. He comes on, in the last 15 minutes of that game, Bournemouth are all over us. Literally coming forward, literally consistently. If they were as a better side, and would have had shots on target and possibly even a goal. High 4 for me, just not a 5. It's a below par performance from him. What are you saying, Tom?
4.
You said a 4. Kafal, we'll do quick ratings.
I don't think I judge them. They were only on for a couple of minutes, weren't they?
I will say standard 5 for 4 now. Probably Tom will say the same. On Kafal, though, he did win us the penalty. So I'll go a little bit higher on Kafal. I'd say a higher 5, because I think he did help us get us over the line, which we needed, because the last 15 minutes of that game we were up against it. Let's go to the referee now. What do you make of David Coop tonight, Tom?
Absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. I don't know which sides. I do feel sorry for Bournemouth fans. We were speaking about it before you come on. I do feel sorry for them, because for me, there isn't a... Nobody can definitively tell me what is a handball and what isn't at the moment. It's all up to the referee's interpretation. And I'm sick of having to come on, and even just when we're sort of, all of us are just sat watching at home, and we're just constantly talking about refereeing decisions, whether you think it was right or wrong, whether it's right or wrong by the law or whatever. The last one is the one that Soufal put in. That is an interpretation of the rule that his hand was in an unnatural position. But what I don't understand is, when you are a player and you're running and you're trying to make that tackle, the natural thing to do when you're jumping is your hands go like that. So I do feel sorry for the kid, because down the other end, something similar has happened with Ben Johnson, which equally could have been given. But I tell you what, the biggest one for me is, and again, I said it off air to you, and I've tweeted about it tonight, how Jefferson Lerma has not been shown a straight red card. I don't care if he's not connected with him. That is a career-ending injury if you jump in. I mean, he didn't even, it wasn't just a little jump. He jumped in and... He
dived in.
Massively, Yeah, it was a horror challenge. And as I said, what has he got to do? Has he got to break his leg to actually get a red card? I don't care whether or not it's connected with him or not. But to me, it was a straight red card, and somebody actually replied to me. Somebody
is that on Coop, though? Is that on David Coop, or is that on VAR? Because fair enough, if Coop can't spot that, fair enough, because he can't look at everything, right? But VAR should be picking that up.
Yeah, exactly, and 100%. And somebody's actually surmised it really, really well. on a comment under because this tweet's banging at the moment for some reason. Somebody said it's nearly knee height and a jump tackle, 2 different red card offences. If you throw a punch, regardless if it connects, it's still dangerous play. This is exactly the same thing. Just because it didn't connect, even though it did just a little bit, but because Skamaka, it doesn't actually break his leg. It's a yellow card. I don't know. If I was a ref, I'd be horrified that I allowed that to go unpunished tonight because
it was a bad tackle, I must admit. When I saw it, I'll be honest with you, when I saw it, I was thinking red card straight away. Yeah. For me, VAR is weird. He's very weird. We get the rubber to green at one end. Bournemouth get no rubber to green at their end. And then we get a penalty at the end. For me, I look at this like this. Coop was all right in spells, but I think more VAR was at fault tonight with certain things.
I've shared my screen for you. Just if you can press it for it to come on. Look at that. That's
dangerous, mate.
That's If you're a ref, what are you actually looking at? The thing is, when I look back at it on thingy, the actual position that he's in, he's actually got quite a good view of this as well.
Yeah.
I'm horrified.
How that's not a red. If that's anyone else, that's a red card, right, in my opinion. I agree, mate. I really do. What are you rating the ref, Tom?
For that alone, I'd give him a 2. Genuinely.
Yeah.
I think. And do you know what? I will take my claret tinted glasses off. I thought there was on a number of occasions, especially in the second half, where Souček even or a couple of other players, they made some challenges on the Bournemouth players that should have been a foul that he was calling the other way for us. So I don't actually think he was entirely fair on the Bournemouth players as well. I think they let him know about it a few times. Just didn't really. He didn't lose control of the game, but I never thought you have control of it. I don't know. I just think it was a poor game from both VAR and from David Coote tonight. I'm
going to give him a 3. I agree with everything you just said. He weren't that good tonight. I agree with what you also said about Bournemouth players. Bournemouth players didn't get the rubber to green. If it would have been West Ham players getting that treatment, I would be sitting here with Tom and we wouldn't be happy about that. So, referee was poor tonight. Moving on, though, to the final rating of the evening. 40 people watching. David Moyes picks Saeed Benrahma and West Ham end up getting the win. Tom, assess Moyes for me tonight. I think Tom's on mute.
If you are one of the 40 of you watching, let us know what you think in the chat because I'll be interested to see what people think of Moyes tonight. I still think he got it wrong. I'll say that because I'm not saying we should have beaten Bournemouth comfortably, but I'll stick to what I said at the start, which was I think we were in attacker light. Maybe he wanted an impact off the bench again with sort of Antonio, maybe playing like Benrahma has this week. But I still think we were in attacker light. I still think that at home against Bournemouth, you can throw caution to the wind a bit and actually play with, one more attacker. And I think it showed. I don't think we created enough. We didn't create enough, but some of the chances we had, we still weren't taking them. Not that that's a Moyes thing, but I don't know what it is. It's just there's
no fluid. It ain't fluid enough for me.
There's no fluidity. I still look at us when we're playing, and I'm not enjoying what I'm watching at times. Like we're hanging on realistically with 10 minutes to go before that penalty. We're hanging on for a 1-0 win, and I don't know what it is. I still don't think we're at full strength. I still think with Aguerd coming back, pushing Kehrer to right back, having Paqueta, Skamaka, Benrahma, etc., all in the same team, I think that will make a massive difference. But this is every single win we've had this season. I've come away from it and gone, have we really deserved that over a full 90 minutes? Maybe the Wolves game, yes. Yeah. Other than that, it was just another. It was just I don't know. I'll probably describe before it's like a bitty performance. It's just a bit like it's a win. A win is a win, and we're up to 10th. Fantastic, but I'm not impressed with the overall performance.
I agree with you. Yeah, when West Ham were out of possession, playing 4-4-2, I couldn't work it out. I couldn't work out why Flynn Downs was so in an attacking position and Bowen as a right winger, Benny as a left winger. I just don't understand it. I totally agree with you. The last 10 minutes of that game, West Ham are literally defending for a 1-0 win, which we shouldn't be doing that. We should have put this team to the sword a long time. We've got the talented players. I agree. Moyes, I ain't going to go in on Moyes tonight because I think he picked the right team. I don't like how narrow he was in the first half because we kept going through the middle of Bournemouth and not going down the sides of Bournemouth, which was frustrating. And that's why Skamaka didn't really do anything tonight, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm with you. It's not fluent enough for me. It's not.
It's got to be.
We're not vibing.
This is the exactly. Yeah. This is what my problem is. In the second half, in those first 15 minutes, we were quicker. We dominated the ball a bit more. Possession, turn that into attack, and it was just happening at a bit of a quicker pace. And that's. Sorry, I'm clicking too much, but that's what I want. I know
what you're saying. Listen, I agree with you.
We've got the players to make that happen. We've got fully fledged, good international players that can make that happen. But it's just not happening at the moment. And I think tonight, if Paqueta was playing instead of either Souček or Downs, I think it's a lot quicker. And I think we win that game comfortably. I think we would have put it to bed by half time. That's how I think it could have been.
Because what it was, I was having a bit of a debate on Twitter, and someone was saying, "Yeah, but we look good." Right, and I said to him, but has the Bournemouth keeper really had to make any saves tonight? No. And like he hadn't really. Like we get the goal for a bit of luck, a good bit of run. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Did we deserve the goal? We were the better team tonight, in my opinion. West Ham were the better team, more threatening, etc. But there's no fluid. Like, it ain't fluid enough for me. We're not vibing. We're not. It's too. I don't know. It's slow and pedestrian for me. Like that's the way I looked at it tonight. What you rating Moyes tonight, Tom?
We got the win. I'll give him a 5. I don't know if this is a player thing or something that he can say, but I think at half time when he got back in, I think he told them to shape up a bit, play a bit quicker, go and get a second goal.
They were better second half.
Yeah, yeah. Fair play to being a little bit more positive than playing with the 5 at the back. But again, I think he could have thrown caution to the wind and played with one extra attacker. So I give him a 5 tonight. Obviously, we expect to win midweek. It was said this the other day. You think he may not play his strongest 11. We still do need 1 point to secure first place. So I think he'll go somewhat strong. But the big one is the United game, obviously, next Sunday.
Yeah.
They've not looked the greatest at Old Trafford this season. I do think that we can, if we turn up and Paqueta's back, I think that we should be able to at least match United. But I've got a really bad feeling that he's going to want to go 5 at the back in that game, and I think it's going to hinder us. So obviously the jury's out with a lot of people this evening as to whether they're still Moyes in or Moyes out, or they're not happy with stuff, and that's all well and good, but I think he could help himself by playing a little bit more attacking football at the moment because I think we've got the players to do it. So I'll give him a 5 tonight.
Yeah. 6 for me. We get the job done in the end. He played Benrahma, he played Downs. I'll give him his due on that.
That was a good positive that he played. Yeah. He actually played Benrahma.
Yeah, he actually sort of had a bit of confidence in Benrahma for once, and I will say that.
Benrahma rewarded David Moyes for starting him, which was even better.
I think the team sort of picked itself tonight. Like we need to be on the front foot attacking. I totally agree. We're not vibing at the minute. I'm not liking it. I think this result does paper over cracks a little bit. Like it looks better than what it is. And at the minute, I can accept this until the World Cup. And if we can assess it at the World Cup, then I'll be happy. I agree. Manchester United away is going to be tough, but I think West Ham need to go there and attack Manchester United. We're a good side. We've got good players. If we set up 5 at the back or 3 at the back with or 3-5-2 or whatever, it's negative for me. I want West Ham to go at these teams because I believe we can beat these teams. So I'm going to give him a 6 tonight. He got the job done, and we need some players back, freshen it up, and honestly, I can't stress enough. As soon as Aguerd comes back, we're going to look a lot better in defence on that. Right, where is it? Yeah, that is done from us. Tom, I want to thank you for coming on tonight, mate. I really do appreciate it.
Anytime
at all, my friend. West Ham get the win tonight, and that's what it is. It's all about the W. But we need to start vibing, all of us as a fan base. I understand where the Moyes in, Moyes out thing. I do. I'm on that sort of brink with Moyes at the minute, where he's got to start being a bit more proactive and more attack minded. He was tonight. He brought Benny on. Benny was man of the match, which I saw, and he scores a goal. So fair play to Benny. Yeah, and we'll see what happens on Thursday against Silkeborg, and then moving on to Manchester United on the Sunday. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. It goes a long way. If you want to become a member, by all means, please do become a member, support the channel. And finally, E20 Xmas Christmas giveaway. There's 39 people watching. If you're new around here and you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm giving away 2 shirts at Christmas to 2 lucky people on me. I'm also doing a quiz. I've got the quiz questions for the lads, and the lads are going to win a cash prize from me also for Christmas on me. So yeah, listen, that's what I do for people around me. I look after everyone because that's what you do at West Ham. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Have a good Monday evening. West Ham get the W in the end. And for me, Benny, good lad. Well done, son.
There it is. I've never found a love like this.